know you were one of those who were somewhat very concerned about that statement. What's your view about that statement, though?
That statement is at the core of Nigeria having a government. Do we really have a government if somebody who sold Nigeria's assets for 4 years at BPE, served as FCT minister for 4 years, and served as governor, would say that there is a national policy of paying bandits? Do we have a government? Am I a citizen? Are you a citizen? Does Nigeria exist? What are we doing? Are people understanding the gravity of this statement? Do we even have an office of a national security advisor? A national policy is official position of government. An official declaration that this is what we shall be constitutionally doing, what we shall be legally pursuing. If the position of Nigeria, the so-called APC government of Uncle Tinubu, if their official position is to be compensating bandits, paying bandits, then we don't have a nation.
So your inference tonight is that whatever Malam Nasir El-Rufai has said in that respect, which we played back,
yes,
if it's not true, the government of the day should be taken more seriously.
Yes, and so long as it passes by with the so-called, what you call reaction of the answer, then it is true. And I tend to agree that it could be true.
But if for example, I was going to ask
before this one, another almost 8-year governor of Borno State said that there are informants of terrorists in the Nigerian military and among Nigerian politicians, and it is official. You have the evidence. Before then, there was another politician who again said that bandits and terrorists were brought into Nigeria pre-2015 election. These are even small ones. Do you remember? Now, what I'm about to say and my arguments are that insecurity is part of APC. Insecurity has been APC's way of getting power. Insecurity has been part of APC's way of staying in power.
Is that fact or just your opinion?
That is my candid, firm opinion that is being strengthened by the kind of unfortunate comments like that of Nasiru.
So
2 days ago.
But there are no facts to what you're saying. There are no facts to what you're saying. If there are opinions, how would you say a government of the day is part of their life or living is insecurity?
That I'm giving you the facts. Now I have clearly given you 3 statements of politicians, government functionaries that are undisputed. I have given you this.
You're inferring that all what we have seen over the last few years as insecurity is orchestrated.
Of course.
And it's political.
Of course. Last year around this time.
This narrative.
Last year around this time. Whatever I tell you, I'll try to give you evidence. Last year around this time, we were just negotiating the release of our own nephew. And when he came out, what he said is not much different from what Nasir El-Rufai is saying. But my grudge with Nasir's statements is that he was part and parcel of APC from 2013. Like he told you, he was one of the architects of it all. All of a sudden, to come and absolve himself and call others. No, Nasiru is part and parcel of all that has been going on.
Nigeria is in serious trouble. Nigeria is in serious trouble. We're in a mess. If everything is to go by what El-Rufai said, that Nigerian government's policy is to pay terrorists, to empower terrorists, to reward terrorism. If everything is to go by based on what Datti Baba-Ahmed's analysis is about this entire situation, as it says it tends to believe it, that Nigeria is in trouble. Nigeria is in trouble because everything that we now know as insecurity is orchestrated by politicians and it's all political. Then Nigeria is in trouble. If everything is to go by what Datti Baba-Ahmed says, that insecurity is part of APC, and APC needed insecurity. They put insecurity in place in 2015, and obviously to come into power, and they're using insecurity to stay in power, then Nigeria is in serious trouble. The question is, do you agree with all of this? Do you think that we can come out of this insecurity issue? Do you think that this government, this Tinubu's government, has a plan to solve insecurity? Or all along they've been paying off these guys as part of their policy just to keep Nigerians quiet? What do you think? Do you think that this Tinubu's government has a plan to bring Nigeria, to bring peace into Nigeria? Or all of their plans all along has just been to tax Nigerians and obviously, or put all the parameters in place for Bola Tinubu to come back in 2027. For example, Datti Baba-Ahmed says that APC is insecurity is part of APC. APC needed insecurity to come into power, and APC is using insecurity to stay in power. If you remember what happened in Rivers State, with some bogus claim that there will be insecurity in Rivers State, Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency, seized Rivers State. Now they've done a bogus election, put all the parameters in place for him to come back into 2027 because they need Rivers State. Remember, in 2023, he lost Rivers State. So he needs Rivers State now, this time, to make the path simple and straight. So what he's doing basically is that I'm going to put my own people in place so I can rig the election easily in 2027. So does that fall into that same perspective or idea of what Datti Baba-Ahmed is saying, that APC needs insecurity to stay in power? Or is Datti Ahmed overstating it? But if you take everything that El-Rufai said, because this is a backdrop of El-Rufai's statement that the government's policy, Nigeria's national policy, is to reward terrorists, then Nigeria is in trouble. Do you agree with that? Because to say that APC as a political party is synonymous with insecurity, that's a very big, bold claim and accusation. And to put that way mildly is concerning. What is going on in Nigeria? Do we have a country? Listen, if Datti Baba-Ahmed, his family is very powerful in the north, in Kaduna, for example, if his nephew can be kidnapped and they had to pay ransom for it, does that tell you what is going on about for Nigerians around the country? Look at Edo State, for example. All of Edo North is now ravished with insecurity. All over Edo North. When the Pueblo said they were going to give Nigerians or Edo people insecurity in 2024 when he was campaigning, people thought it just gaffed. But now see all of Edo North. Insecurity all over the place. Completely insecurity all over the place. So the question now is, how do we solve this? How do we come out of all of this? Can Bola Tinubu save Nigeria? Does he have a plan, a policy in place to solve this insecurity in Nigeria? Can Bola Tinubu solve insecurity? Can APC solve insecurity so that Nigerians can travel and not be afraid? To say that politicians are the ones sponsoring insecurity for political gains, and Nigerians are dying every day because of these evil plans by our politicians who have no other means of making money but to steal from government, then we're in trouble. It is APC. There's nothing beneficial that we've had from APC since 2015. Nothing. From Buhari to Bola Tinubu, they've just made life difficult for Nigerians. And now they're still planning on coming back in 2027. God forbid. Tinubu can't solve Nigeria's problem. This is serious. It can't solve Nigeria's problem. APC can't solve Nigeria's insecurity problem. 10 years now is 10 years of insecurity, constant food failure, bad policies, one bad policy after another. And to now say that they need insecurity to stay in power, again, like I said to you, Fani Kayode said it, that APC imported terrorists into Nigeria to win election. Professor Babagana Umaru Zulum is saying the same thing as well, that there are informants within Nigerian military and Nigerian police and security infrastructure helping these bandits, these terrorists. but APC cannot solve it. So the question is, where do we go from here? How do we solve this problem? How can this government help? Because Nigerians are dying every day. Nigerians are afraid they're being terrorized in their own country. What do you think? It's a lot to take in, right? But put your comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about what Datti Baba-Ahmed says. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also recommend this channel. Please click on the notification icon. I'll catch you in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.